today I will start the fifth lecture of thermodynamics, and last day I have solved several problems on work and heat transfer. Now today also I will solve one problem on work and heat transfer. It is on the basis of the diagrams, and then I will go to the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so let us start solving the last problem of work and heat transfer. Okay, so let us start. So the problem has been written over here. You can see the problem. Let me recite the problem. The problem says that determine the total work done by a gas system following an expansion process as shown in the figure. Okay, so the figure has been shown and the expression for the expansion means the pressure will decrease. So this diagram is pressure volume diagram. So expansion means pressure will decrease but the volume will increase. Okay, so the pressure has a relation with the volume like this: PV to the power 1.3 is equal to constant. That means whenever this expansion is taking place, it is following the following expression. What we have to find out? We have to find out the total work done during the process from A to C. So this is our problem. So let us solve the problem. Okay, so as already I have told several types of work done in the previous lectures. So to solve this kind of problem, first you have to categorize that what kind of problem it is. So as the diagram is on the basis of PV diagram, so basically this work done is a pressure displacement work done or pressure volume work done. Okay, so first category is complete. Now we have to check that how many processes are there. So you can see here two processes is there. First process A to B, then the second process B to C. Okay, so we have to find out the work done for the process from A to C. Okay, so let us start the problem. So we will find out the net work done, W net. Okay, so what will be W net? We can write it WAB plus WBC. Okay, so we have split it the two process, the work done, as WAB and WBC, and we will separately find out what is WAB and what is WBC. Then we will get the net work done by adding these two. Okay. Now let us start to find out WAB. Now what will be WAB? WAB, look at the process. AB, you can see it is okay. So as I was talking about that, we have to find out WAB and WBC separately. Okay, so let us find out WAB. Now to find out the WAB, you have to choose what type of process it is. So you have to see the diagram and you have to decide that what type of process it is, because I have already told several types of pressure displacement work done. So here you can see that from A to B there is no changes in the pressure, but the volume changes. So you can say WAB is a isobaric process. And for isobaric process we know that the equation is P into V2 minus V1. So in this case it will be PA multiplied by VB minus VC. Okay, so let us do that. what will be PA? PA, it will be 50 bar, that means 50 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal multiplied by 0.4 minus 0.2, because we are taking the magnitude, so it will come that joule. So it will come 10 to the power 6 joule, or we can say 1 mega joule. So if you do the calculation, you will see that it will come 10 to the power 6 joule. So the result will come 1 mega joule. So WAB will be 10 to the power 6 mega joule. Okay. Next is WBC. What will be WBC? So WBC, it will look at over there. From B to C, you can see both pressure and volume changes. So it is neither isochoric process nor isobaric process. What type of process? So you can see the expression. You have to see the expression. So as per the expression, it has been shown that PV to the power 1.3 is equal to constant. That means with this equation we can decide that this path follows an equation of polytropic process. So the work done equation will be a polytropic process equation. So from the polytropic process equation we know, let me write it down, it is a polytropic process where the index is 1.3. So we can write down the equation is P1V1 minus P2V2 by n minus 1. So in this case we can say PBVB minus PCVC by n minus 1. So what is PB? So from the diagram we can say PB is 50 bar. What is PC? What is VB? VB is 0.4 meter cube. What is PC? It is unknown. BC, it has been given from the diagram, it is 0.8, and N is the polytropic index, which is 1.3. So we have to find out PC. So how to find out PC? So we will use the equation, that is PB VB to the power 1.3 is equal to PC VC to the power 1.3. So PC will become PB VB to the power 1.3 by VC to the power 1.3. What is PB? PB is 50 bar. So I will take the bar. VB is 0.4 to the power 1.3. BC is 0.8 to the power 1.3. Okay, so if you do the calculation, so the result will come 20.31 bar, or 20.31 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. 10 to the power 5 Pascal. Okay, now we can put it in the equation. The PB is how much? PB is 50, DB is 0.4, PC is 20.31, C is 0.8, by N is 1.3 minus 1 into 10 to the power 5. So it will come 1.5 into 10 to the power 5 joule. Okay, so if you do the calculation, it will come 12.51 into 10 to the power 5 joule, or we can say 1.251 megajoule. You just check the calculation one second. Okay, so WBC is coming 1.251 megajoule. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to find out W net. Okay, so here the systems and surroundings are not specified. Okay, so we can take all the work done as positive. So here we will not follow the sign convention because the systems and the surroundings is not been specified. So we will find out the magnitude, not the directions. Okay, so as this is expanding, so we have to consider that okay, this diagram is for the system and the work done we will find out for the system. That means here the system is expanding, that means the work done by the system. So we will take this one as positive. Okay, so W net is WAB plus WBC. So what is WAB? WAB is 1 megajoule. What is WBC? It is 1.251 megajoule. So if you add these two, it will become 2.251 megajoule. So this is your answer. Okay, so we have seen a problem on work and heat transfer on the basis of diagram or pressure volume diagram. So we have solved some problems for work and heat transfer. Now I will start the first law of thermodynamics. So as already I have told that there are basically three laws of thermodynamics are there. Okay, in your syllabus. So there are one more law, fourth law of thermodynamics. But in your syllabus you have three laws of thermodynamics. One is zeroth law of thermodynamics, then is first law of thermodynamics, then is come the second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so I will start from first law of thermodynamics, then I will tell you about the zeroth law of thermodynamics, then I will go to the second law of thermodynamics. Okay, so I will follow these sequences. Okay, now one question may come in your mind that why sir you are telling about the first law of thermodynamics first, not the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Yes, I am telling you the first law of thermodynamics because this concept is important. This concept is important to understand some portion of the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Okay, so it will be easier to understand. Okay, then I will go to the zeroth law of thermodynamics. But zeroth law of thermodynamics, let me tell you in brief that zeroth law of thermodynamics says that if system A and system B both are in thermal equilibrium, as well as system B and system C both are in thermal equilibrium and being separated by a diathermal wall, then we can say system A and system C are in thermal equilibrium. This is the zeroth law of thermodynamics and it gives the concept of temperature. Okay, so I will explain these things just after completing the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so what is first law of thermodynamics? So first law of thermodynamics, all you know about the first law of thermodynamics, that is that the energy is conserved. Energy is neither be created nor be destroyed. But this is the abbreviation of the first law of thermodynamics. The energy is being conserved. But we have to know in details about the first law of thermodynamics. So what is that? So before telling about the statement of the first law of thermodynamics, let me tell you that the inventor of first law of thermodynamics and what he has done and what experiment he has done to get this type of conceptual explanations of first law of thermodynamics. Okay, though it is not in your syllabus and it will not come in your examination, but still I am telling you just to clear your concept. So the first law of thermodynamics basically comes from the results of Joule's law or the Joule's experiment. So let me tell you the brief of Joule's experiment. Okay, so let us see Joule's experiment. Okay, what is the Joule's? So let us understand about a little brief of Joule's experiment. What is Joule's experiment? What he has done? Okay, so before Joule's experiment, people thought that work and heat are the two defined entity. मतलब ये दो अलग हैं. But Joule has proved that work and heat are not two different entities. Both are the same entities. Okay, but they are the different modes of transfer, but they are the same entity. So what he has done? So Joule has taken an insulated chamber, just like this, and he has inserted a thermometer to see that what is the changes in the temperature, and he has filled with some liquid. Okay, and it is being insulated. This sign means the system is insulated. Insulated means no heat will transfer across the system boundary. Okay, now initially what he has done, he has heated the chamber. Okay, and he has heated the chamber, and because of the heating, what will happen? The heat will transfer from these sources to this fluid, and because of the heat transfer, the temperature of the fluid will increase. And Joule has measured the changes in the temperature, how much temperature has been changed, and with this he has measured how much heat is calculated, because we know that H is equal to mst, and from this equation we can find out how much heat has been transferred. So he has measured how much heat has been transferred during the heating process. The heating is done by these external sources. Next, what he has done, he has taken the same setup again, which was at initial temperature. Suppose that it was at initial temperature T1, and because of the heating it has gone to the temperature T2. Now again he has taken the same chamber of same dimensions. All the other things are remains same: insulation, volume, the fluid, the nature of the fluid, all the other conditions are same. So all these things are same, but in this process, and the temperature is also at T1. In this process, he has done some steering work. Okay, by means of he has done some steering work. Okay, so it is going downwards and it is rotating, and because of the rotation, the work is transferred inside this insulated chamber. So as no heat is going out of the system, so the temperature of the fluid will increase because work is done on the system. And he has done the work done up to that much when the system temperature reaches to T2. That means you can see that he has made the final condition same. Initial condition was at temperature T1, final condition is at temperature T2. Here also initial condition was at temperature T1 and the final condition is at temperature T2. Okay, so he has done the same thing, once by means of external heat discharges and another he has done by the means of work done. Okay, then he has calculated how much work is done. Okay. Then he has taken this setup, and put it in a cold chamber. The total setup, which was at T2, the chamber, after reaching the temperature T2, the condition T2, he has taken the chamber and put it in a cold chamber. Okay, and he has taken the system to the initial conditions, that is T1. So he has taken the system to the initial conditions T1, and he has measured how much heat has been consumed, or how much heat is coming into the system from the outside. How much heat has gone from the system, because this is the higher temperature, this is at lower temperature. So he has measured that how much heat has gone outside. Now with this all the experiment, he got one result, that all the things, all the values are same. That means how much heat is given over there, same work is done over here, and the same heat is going outside. So with this experiment result, he has gone to one conclusion, that heat and work done are not the different entities, they are same. And with this he has gone to one conclusion, that the summation of all the Q's is same as summation of all the W's. That means all the heat input and the output are same as all the work done. This is termed as the first law of thermodynamics. This is termed as the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so what it says, let me elaborate. That during any cyclic process, the statement of the first law of thermodynamics, during any cyclic process, the summation of all the work and the heat are same. So let me elaborate this. So this is, let us take one thermodynamic cycle. The system is going from state 1 to state 2 through path A and returning to state 1 again from 2 to 1 from the path B, and its initial conditions and the final conditions are identical. That means it is a thermodynamic cycle. So as per the first law of thermodynamics, that all the heat transfer is same as all the work transfer during this cyclic process. So let us take this, Q1 is coming, Q1 is going, Q2 is going out, Q3 is coming, Q4 is coming, similar as work done W1, W2, W3, W4. Okay, so as you can see, several work and heat transfer has been made during these cyclic processes. Okay, so as per the first law of thermodynamics, we can say summation of Q is same as summation of W. That means from this we can say plus Q1, because heat is coming into the system. If it is going out of the system, then we can say this is a negative. So plus Q1 plus Q2 minus Q3 minus Q4, because heat is coming into the system, plus Q5. Sorry. If heat is coming into the system, then Q2 is negative. Sorry, extremely sorry. Heat is coming into the system, plus Q1. Heat is going out of the system, minus. Heat is coming into the system, plus. Q4, heat is coming into the system, plus. And Q5, heat is going out of the system, it is negative. Okay, is same as work is going out of the system, plus W1, work is going out of the system, plus W2, work is coming into the system, minus W3, work is going out of the system. So the first law of thermodynamics says that for any cyclic process, summation of heat is same as summation of work. Okay, so this is the first law of thermodynamics. So we can write it in the integral form. So let us write it in the integral form. So in the integral form, it is you can write it as cyclic integral of dq is same as cyclic integral of dw. So you can say cyclic integral of dq is cyclic integral of dw. This is in terms of integral form. Now we will manipulate this equation. Okay, so from the cyclic integral, it has been shown that dq is same as cyclic integral of dw. It is in the integral form. So we can say cyclic integral of dq minus dw is equal to 0. Okay, cyclic integral of dq minus dw is a 0. Okay, now there comes the beauty of thermodynamics. So if we take this one as a single quantity, suppose x, so we can say cyclic integral of dx is equal to 0, where dx is nothing but dq minus dw. Okay, now we know that if any cyclic integral of a derivative is 0, that means this function is nothing but a point function. That means x is the point function. This is the beauty of thermodynamics. Now you can say, and this ax in the thermodynamics is known as the internal energy of the system. Internal energy. Okay, so we can say del q del u is equal to 0. Now look at over there, I am not cutting this u because u is the point function. Now there comes the beauty of thermodynamics, that the subtraction of two path function resulting in a point function, and this differential form you have read in your HS level. So this is also known as the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, dq is equal to du plus dw. Now one more thing you have to understand, this is for process, not cycle. This is for process, and this is the differential form. Okay, so what will be the integral form? Just integrate dq is equal to integral of du plus integral of dw. So it will come q1 to 2, because it is a point function, is equal to del u plus w1 to 2, where del u is equal to u2 minus u1. Now you can say, sir, how this cyclic integral of a point function is coming as 0? Okay, let me explain. Del du, let us take du. So we can say 1 to 2 du plus integral of 2 to 1 du is equal to 0. So this is the point function. So we can say this is u from 1 to 2 plus u from 2 to 1. So it will come u2 minus u1 plus u1 minus u2. Okay, so it is coming u1 will cut down, u2 will cut down, it is 0. So we can say cyclic integral of du is equal to 0. So if you do the integration, you will see that the cyclic integral of du is equal to 0. Now if the system is doing PDV work, that means dw1 to 2 is PDV. So we can say dq is equal to du plus PDV. This is for the first law of thermodynamics, and the system is doing PDV work. But this equation is very valid for any of the process, whether the process is a reversible process or irreversible process. Any process, whatever is happening in this world, will always follow this equation. That's why I am telling you that thermodynamics is the basic of everything. Okay, so with this I am concluding this lecture. So see you in the next lecture.